In recent years, the Philippine Navy has taken decisive steps toward reshaping its amphibious and sea lift capabilities, reflecting a broader shift in the country's defense posture. One of the most significant developments under this effort is the acquisition of a new class of landing platform dock vessels, large, multi-role ships designed to move troops, vehicles, equipment, and humanitarian aid across the archipelago and beyond. These new landing platform docks, or LPDs, represent an evolution of the Philippine Navy's existing amphibious fleet. Measuring approximately 124 meters in length, the vessels are being constructed by Indonesian shipbuilder PT PAL Indonesia as part of the Navy's landing dock acquisition project. The program calls for the construction of 2 ships, both of which are intended to build upon the operational experience gained from the earlier Tarlac-class landing docks, also built by PT PAL. The new LPDs are being procured under Horizon 2 of the revised Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization Program. This phase of modernization, which originally covered the period from 2018 to 2022, focused on enhancing the military's external defense capabilities while continuing to address internal security requirements. Although the ship class has not yet been officially named, its role and importance within the Philippine Navy's future force structure are already well defined. The concept of acquiring additional landing platform docks emerged from the Philippine Navy's recognition that its amphibious lift capacity was insufficient for the demands of a nation composed of more than 7,000 islands. Amphibious ships are not only essential for military operations, but are also critical assets during disaster response, humanitarian assistance, and relief missions, tasks the Philippine Navy is frequently called upon to perform. In June 2018, plans to procure 2 new landing platform docks were approved in principle during the administration of former President Rodrigo Duterte. The proposed acquisition carried an estimated budget of approximately 5.56 billion Philippine pesos. This approval marked an important milestone, as it confirmed government-level support for expanding the Navy's sea lift and amphibious assault capabilities. Following a competitive procurement process, the Department of National Defense formally signed a contract with PT PAL Indonesia on 24 June 2022. The agreement tasked the Indonesian shipbuilder with delivering a modified and improved version of its strategic sea lift vessel design, which formed the basis of the earlier Tarlac-class ships. Although the new LPDs share a common design lineage with the Tarlac-class, they are not simple repeats of the earlier vessels. Instead, they reflect a deliberate effort to refine and improve upon an existing platform using real-world operational feedback. Since the commissioning of the Tarlac-class ships, the Philippine Navy has accumulated years of experience operating large amphibious vessels in tropical waters during both military exercises and humanitarian missions. These experiences highlighted several strengths, such as the ship's versatility and endurance, while also revealing limitations related to layout, aviation facilities, and combat system integration. The design improvements incorporated into the new LPDs were formulated specifically to address these lessons learned. While the hull form and general configuration remain familiar, internal arrangements, aviation facilities, and provisions for weapons and sensors have been enhanced to better suit the Navy's evolving operational requirements. The construction of the first ship officially began with a steel cutting ceremony held on 10 August 2023 at PT PAL's shipyard facilities in Surabaya, Indonesia. Steel cutting is traditionally regarded as the symbolic start of a ship's construction, marking the transition from design and planning to physical assembly. The second ship followed shortly thereafter, with its own construction officially commencing on 2 January 2024. The staggered timeline allows the shipbuilder to apply lessons learned from the construction of the first vessel to the second, potentially improving efficiency and build quality. According to project timelines, the first LPD is expected to be completed within 2024, with delivery to the Philippine Navy targeted for 2025. Upon commissioning, the ships will immediately contribute to the Navy's transport, amphibious, and disaster response capabilities. Based on technical specifications released during the tender process, each of the new landing platform docks will measure approximately 124 meters in length, with a beam of around 21.8 meters. In terms of displacement, The ships are expected to weigh about 7,200 tons under standard conditions and up to approximately 11,583 tons when fully loaded. These dimensions place the vessels among the largest ships currently operated by the Philippine Navy, underscoring their strategic importance. Their size allows them to carry a substantial mix of troops, vehicles, cargo, and aviation assets, making them true multi-mission platforms. Propulsion is provided by 2 diesel engines, each rated at approximately 3,000 brake horsepower, or roughly 1,920 kilowatts. This power plant configuration enables the ships to achieve a maximum speed of around 16 knots, which is sufficient for both independent operations and coordination with other naval units. In terms of range, the new LPDs are designed to travel approximately 9,360 nautical miles at cruising speed, equivalent to more than 17,000 kilometers. With an endurance of up to 30 days at sea while cruising at around 13 knots, the ships can sustain extended deployments across the Philippine archipelago and into adjacent maritime regions. A defining feature of any landing platform dock is its ability to conduct amphibious operations, and the Philippine Navy's new LPDs are no exception. Each ship is equipped with a floodable well deck capable of operating 2 medium-sized landing craft. These landing craft can be used to transport troops, vehicles, and supplies directly from ship to shore, even in areas without port facilities. In addition to the well deck, the ships are fitted with davits capable of handling rigid-hull inflatable boats and smaller landing craft. These boats enhance the ship's flexibility, allowing for a wide range of missions including coastal patrols, boarding operations, and search and rescue tasks. This combination of landing craft and smaller boats gives the Philippine Navy a versatile platform for both combat and non-combat missions, reinforcing the LPD's role as a cornerstone of amphibious and maritime support operations. One of the most notable areas of improvement over the Tarlac-class lies in the aviation facilities. The original design concept emphasized compatibility with medium-sized helicopters such as the US-made Sikorsky Black Hawk and the Italian-made AW-139. Initially, the ships were designed to accommodate 2 medium helicopters on the flight deck and 1 similar-sized aircraft in the hangar. However, changes in Philippine Navy requirements led to revisions in the design. The updated configuration now provides a hangar capable of housing 1 medium, 10-ton class helicopter, along with a flight deck that can simultaneously operate 2 helicopters of similar size. These enhancements significantly expand the ship's operational flexibility. Helicopters play a vital role in amphibious operations, disaster response, medical evacuation, and maritime surveillance. By improving aviation capacity, the new LPDs can serve as effective command and support platforms during complex joint operations. Although landing platform docks are not frontline combatants in the traditional sense, they are increasingly expected to operate in contested environments. As such, the Philippine Navy's new LPDs have been designed with provisions for a range of defensive weapon systems. According to proposals released by PT PAL, the design allows for the installation of a 76mm naval gun on the forward deck. This gun, commonly associated with the OTO Malara 76mm Super Rapid system, provides a versatile capability for surface engagement, limited air defense, and naval gunfire support. In addition to the main gun, the design includes positions for secondary weapon systems mounted on the port and starboard sides of the ship. These secondary guns are intended to enhance close-range defense against asymmetric threats, such as fast attack craft or low-flying aerial targets. It is important to note that the installation of these weapon systems is planned to be carried out separately by the Philippine Navy after delivery of the ships. This approach provides flexibility in selecting specific systems and allows the Navy to integrate the vessels into its broader combat system architecture. The acquisition of these new landing platform docks is more than a simple fleet expansion. It represents a deliberate investment in capabilities that align with the Philippine Navy's long-term vision of becoming a modern, multi-capable maritime force. As the first steel plates are cut and hulls take shape in Indonesian shipyards, these ships symbolize the Philippines' determination to strengthen its maritime defense, improve its disaster response readiness, and project stability across its vast maritime domain. In the next part of this series, we will take a closer look at the specific weapon systems proposed for these ships, their defensive capabilities, and how they fit into the Philippine Navy's broader modernization efforts. particularly in the context of evolving regional security challenges. While the primary purpose of a landing platform dock is to transport troops, vehicles, and equipment, modern naval operations increasingly demand that such vessels possess credible self-defense capabilities. As regional security conditions evolve and maritime spaces become more contested, even traditionally non-combat ships must be prepared to operate in environments where threats may emerge from the air, the surface, or the littorals. For the Philippine Navy's new 124-meter landing platform docks, this reality is reflected in the design's provisions for a range of weapon systems and sensors. Although these ships are not intended to engage in high-intensity naval combat, their ability to protect themselves and the forces they carry is a critical factor in ensuring mission success. One of the most prominent features proposed for the new landing platform docks is the installation of a 76mm naval gun on the forward deck. This class of gun, commonly associated with the Italian-designed Ottio Melara 76mm super rapid system, has become a standard fixture on many modern warships due to its versatility and compact size. The 76mm gun occupies a unique niche in naval armament. Despite its relatively small caliber compared to larger naval artillery, it offers a high rate of fire and a wide selection of ammunition types. These characteristics allow it to perform multiple roles, including surface engagement, limited air defense, and naval gunfire support for forces ashore. With firing rates that can exceed 80 rounds per minute, and in some configurations reach well over 100 rounds per minute, the system is capable of rapidly engaging fast-moving surface targets. This makes it particularly effective against small boats or asymmetric threats, which are among the most likely risks faced by amphibious and transport vessels operating close to shore. In addition to conventional high-explosive ammunition, modern 76mm systems can fire specialized rounds designed for anti-aircraft and missile defense roles. Some variants include guided or proximity-fused ammunition, intended to intercept maneuvering anti-ship missiles at short ranges. While the effectiveness of such systems depends heavily on sensor integration and crew training, their presence significantly enhances a ship's defensive envelope. The compact footprint of the 76mm gun also makes it suitable for installation on ships like landing platform docks, where deck space must be balanced against aviation facilities, cargo areas, and troop accommodations. The option to house the gun within a low-profile or stealth-shaped cupola further reduces its impact on the ship's radar signature. Beyond the main gun, the new LPD design includes positions for secondary weapon systems mounted along the port and starboard sides. These secondary guns are intended to provide close-range protection against threats that penetrate the outer defensive layer or approach from multiple directions. One option associated with the design is a 30mm remote-controlled weapon station. Systems in this category are typically fitted with stabilized mounts, allowing them to remain accurately aimed even as the ship pitches and rolls in heavy seas. The use of electro-optical sensors, including day cameras, thermal imagers, and laser rangefinders, enables effective engagement of targets in both day and night conditions. A 30mm autocannon offers a balance between firepower and ammunition capacity, with rates of fire reaching several hundred rounds per minute and effective ranges exceeding 5 kilometers. Such systems are well suited to counter fast attack craft, unmanned surface vehicles, and low-flying aerial threats. Remote weapon stations also provide an important survivability advantage by allowing operators to control the weapon from within the ship, reducing exposure to enemy fire or harsh weather. For large amphibious vessels that may operate in congested littoral zones, this capability is especially valuable. Another potential option for the LPD's close-in defense is a dual-barrel 35mm system equipped with airburst ammunition. Weapons of this class are designed to create a dense cloud of fragments in the path of an incoming target, significantly increasing the probability of interception. Airburst-capable 35mm systems are particularly effective against small, fast-moving threats such as drones or anti-ship missiles at short ranges. By detonating in proximity to the target rather than relying solely on direct impact, these systems compensate for the challenges of engaging highly maneuverable threats in the final seconds before impact. With firing rates exceeding 1,000 rounds per minute and effective ranges of several kilometers, a dual 35mm system can serve as the ship's last line of defense. When integrated with modern fire control radar and electro-optical tracking systems, It provides a robust layer of protection for high-value platforms like landing docks. A notable aspect of the Philippine Navy's approach to equipping its new landing platform docks is the decision to install weapon systems after delivery. Rather than receiving fully armed ships from the builder, the Navy plans to integrate weapons and sensors domestically or through separate contracts. This approach offers several advantages. First, it allows the Navy to select systems that are fully compatible with its existing logistics, training, and maintenance infrastructure. Second, it provides flexibility to adapt the ship's armament to evolving threat assessments and budgetary considerations. By designing the ships with pre-installed foundations, power connections, and combat system interfaces, PT-PAL ensures that weapons can be added without requiring extensive structural modifications. This modular philosophy reflects a broader trend in modern naval ship design, where adaptability and upgrade potential are prioritized over fixed configurations. Weapons alone do not determine a ship's effectiveness in a modern battle space. Sensors, communications, and command and control systems are equally important, particularly for vessels expected to operate as part of joint or combined task forces. While detailed information about the sensor suite of the new LPDs has not been publicly disclosed, it is expected that the ships will be equipped with modern navigation radars, surface search radars, and electro-optical systems. These sensors provide the situational awareness required to safely operate in congested waters and to detect potential threats at sea and in the air. As large platforms with significant internal space, landing platform docks are also well suited to serve as command and control hubs during amphibious operations or humanitarian missions. Dedicated command spaces, enhanced communications equipment, and robust data links allow the ship to coordinate the activities of landing craft, helicopters, and embarked forces. In disaster response scenarios, these same capabilities enable the LPD to function as a floating headquarters, directing relief efforts, coordinating with civilian authorities, and maintaining communications when shore-based infrastructure has been damaged or destroyed. The relevance of these capabilities becomes clear when viewed in the context of the Philippines' unique geography. As an archipelagic nation, the country's security and disaster response challenges are inherently maritime in nature. Amphibious ships like landing platform docks provide the Philippine Navy with the ability to move forces rapidly between islands, reinforce remote outposts, and deliver aid to communities cut off by natural disasters. Unlike smaller transport vessels, LPDs can operate independently for extended periods, carrying their own helicopters, boats, and support facilities. This self-sufficiency is particularly important during large-scale emergencies, when ports and airfields may be damaged or overwhelmed. By serving as mobile bases, LPDs extend the reach of government assistance to areas that would otherwise be difficult or impossible to access. The acquisition of new landing platform docks does not occur in isolation. Instead, it forms part of a broader effort to transform the Philippine Navy into a more capable and credible maritime force. Under the Navy's modernization roadmap, amphibious and sea lift capabilities complement investments in surface combatants, offshore patrol vessels, and maritime patrol aircraft. Together, these assets contribute to a balanced force capable of addressing a wide range of missions, from territorial defense and maritime security to humanitarian assistance and international cooperation. The improved defensive systems planned for the LPDs reflect a recognition that even support vessels must be prepared to operate in contested environments. By equipping these ships with layered defensive capabilities, the Philippine Navy enhances their survivability and ensures that they can fulfill their missions under a variety of conditions. Regional security dynamics continue to evolve, with increasing emphasis on maritime power and the control of sea lines of communication. For the Philippines, which relies heavily on maritime trade and is situated along critical shipping routes, maintaining a capable navy is a strategic necessity. While landing platform docks are not designed to challenge major surface combatants, their role in force projection, logistics, and support makes them strategically valuable. Protecting these assets is therefore essential, and the inclusion of modern weapon and sensor systems reflects this priority. As technology advances, the modular nature of the new LPDs will allow the Philippine Navy to upgrade their systems over time. Potential future enhancements could include improved electronic warfare systems, unmanned vehicle integration, and more advanced command and control capabilities. The weapons and sensor provisions of the new landing platform docks illustrate how the Philippine Navy is adapting traditional ship types to meet contemporary challenges. By combining amphibious utility with credible self-defense and command capabilities, these vessels bridge the gap between transport ships and combatants. In the final part of this series, we will examine how the new LPDs fit into the Philippine Navy's long-term force structure, including the expansion of the offshore combat force, partnerships with foreign shipbuilders, and the strategic implications of the country's evolving defense doctrine. The introduction of the Philippine Navy's new landing platform docks marks more than the arrival of additional hulls. It represents a shift in how the country views maritime power, national defense, and its role in a rapidly changing regional security environment. These vessels are not standalone assets. They are part of a broader transformation aimed at turning the Navy into a modern, flexible, and externally focused maritime force. To understand the full significance of these ships, it is necessary to examine how they fit into the Philippine Navy's expanding fleet, evolving defense doctrine, and long-term modernization objectives. For decades, the armed forces of the Philippines were structured primarily to address internal security challenges. Counterinsurgency and domestic stability dominated defense planning, leaving external defense and naval modernization as secondary priorities. This focus shaped the composition of the Navy, which relied heavily on aging platforms and limited capabilities. Over time, however, changes in the regional security landscape and growing awareness of maritime vulnerabilities prompted a reassessment. The Philippines' vast maritime domain, extensive coastline, and dependence on sea-based trade underscored the need for a capable and credible naval force. The Philippine Navy's vision of becoming a modern and multi-capable Navy reflects this strategic shift. Rather than focusing solely on coastal patrols and internal security, the Navy is now preparing to operate across the country's exclusive economic zone and, when necessary, beyond it. A key component of this transformation is the expansion of the offshore combat force. By the latter part of the decade, the Philippine Navy aims to significantly increase the number of modern surface combatants under its command. Under existing acquisition plans, the offshore combat force is expected to grow by as many as 8 to 10 additional ships, effectively doubling its current size. These new vessels are designed to enhance the Navy's ability to conduct sustained operations at sea, protect maritime interests, and contribute to regional stability. Central to this effort are contracts awarded to foreign shipbuilders with proven track records in constructing modern warships. South Korea's Hyundai Heavy Industries, in particular, has emerged as a major partner in the Philippine Navy's modernization journey. Hyundai Heavy Industries secured contracts in 2021 and 2022 to construct a new batch of warships for the Philippine Navy. These include 2 modern corvettes scheduled for delivery by 2026 and 6 offshore patrol vessels expected to be delivered by 2028. These ships are designed to provide improved surface warfare, anti-air, and surveillance capabilities, complementing the Navy's existing frigates and patrol vessels. When combined with the amphibious lift provided by the new landing platform docks, they form a more balanced and versatile fleet. In addition to newly built ships, the Philippines has also explored the acquisition of pre-owned vessels through defense cooperation and transfer arrangements. One such example is the planned transfer of an additional Corvette-class ship from a partner nation. While this transfer has faced delays and uncertainty, it highlights the Navy's willingness to pursue multiple avenues to strengthen its fleet. Looking further ahead, Horizon 3 of the Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization Program represents a decisive step toward a more outward-looking defense posture. This phase is closely linked to the comprehensive archipelagic defense concept, a strategic framework that emphasizes the protection of the country's maritime approaches and territorial waters. Under this concept, the Philippines aims to deny hostile forces the ability to operate freely within its maritime domain. Achieving this objective requires a combination of surveillance, deterrence, and response capabilities across multiple domains, including naval and air forces. For the Philippine Navy, this means prioritizing assets that can operate effectively in offshore environments. Landing platform docks play a critical role in this framework by providing the mobility, logistics, and support necessary to sustain operations across the archipelago. Amphibious vessels occupy a unique position in naval strategy. While they are not frontline combatants, Their ability to move forces, equipment, and supplies makes them indispensable during both peacetime and conflict. In the Philippine context, landing platform docks serve multiple strategic purposes. They enable rapid reinforcement of remote islands, support joint operations with the Army and Air Force, and provide platforms for humanitarian assistance and disaster response. These capabilities are particularly relevant in scenarios involving territorial defense or crisis response. In the event of heightened tensions or natural disasters affecting multiple regions simultaneously, LPDs offer a flexible and scalable means of projecting government presence and support. The Philippines operates in a complex and dynamic security environment. Regional maritime disputes, increased naval activity, and the growing importance of sea lines of communication all contribute to heightened strategic uncertainty. As external threats become more pronounced, the Philippine Navy has placed greater emphasis on developing credible deterrence capabilities. This does not imply parity with major naval powers, but rather the ability to protect national interests, uphold sovereignty, and contribute meaningfully to regional security efforts. Landing platform docks support this objective indirectly by enabling sustained naval operations and enhancing the Navy's ability to respond to contingencies. Their presence extends operational reach and reduces reliance on vulnerable shore-based infrastructure. Defense cooperation with allied and partner nations has also played a significant role in strengthening the Philippine Navy. Through a combination of donations, training programs, and joint exercises, these partnerships have helped accelerate capability development. Among the notable contributions are patrol vessels transferred from the United States, including former high-endurance cutters and patrol ships. These vessels have been actively deployed in maritime patrols, including operations in sensitive areas such as the West Philippine Sea and waters surrounding Mindanao. Additional transfers of patrol vessels have been explored, subject to legislative and procedural requirements. While such transfers are often incremental, they collectively enhance the Navy's ability to maintain a persistent presence in key maritime areas. At the heart of the Philippines' maritime strategy lies the concept of maritime domain awareness, the ability to detect, identify, and understand activities within the country's maritime areas of interest. Improved awareness allows decision-makers to respond more effectively to security threats, illegal activities, and humanitarian emergencies. For the Philippine Navy, this translates into investments not only in ships but also in sensors, communications, and information sharing systems. Landing platform docks contribute to maritime domain awareness by serving as platforms for helicopters, unmanned systems, and command and control functions. When integrated with shore-based and aerial surveillance assets, they enhance the Navy's overall situational picture. The success of any long-term modernization program depends heavily on sustained political support. In this regard, recent statements from national leadership have underscored the importance of naval modernization to the country's defense strategy. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has publicly expressed his commitment to supporting the modernization of the Philippine Navy and enhancing the armed forces' overall defense capabilities. He has emphasized the importance of completing Horizon 3 of the modernization program, particularly its naval components. Such declarations send a clear signal that maritime defense remains a national priority. They also provide assurance that investments in platforms like landing platform docks are aligned with long-term strategic goals. While ships and weapons are essential, true naval capability extends beyond hardware. Training, doctrine, maintenance, and personnel development are equally critical components of a modern Navy. As new platforms enter service, the Philippine Navy faces the challenge of integrating them into existing structures while developing the expertise needed to operate and sustain them effectively. This includes training crews, establishing maintenance systems, and refining operational concepts. Landing platform docks, with their complex systems and multi-mission roles, require a high level of coordination and professionalism. Successfully operating these ships will enhance the Navy's institutional knowledge and contribute to the development of a more capable force overall. The arrival of the new 124-meter landing platform docks symbolizes a Navy in transition, one that is moving beyond its traditional roles and embracing a more comprehensive approach to maritime security. These ships embody the lessons of past experience, the realities of present challenges, and the aspirations of future strategy. They are not merely transport vessels, but enablers of national policy and instruments of maritime presence. As the Philippine Navy continues its modernization journey, the landing platform docks will stand as visible indicators of progress. Platforms that support defense, diplomacy, and disaster response alike. The story of the Philippine Navy's new landing platform docks is ultimately a story of transformation. From their origins in modernization planning to their construction in regional shipyards and their integration into a growing fleet, these ships reflect the Philippines' determination to strengthen its maritime capabilities. In an era defined by uncertainty and change, the ability to operate effectively at sea is more important than ever. Through sustained investment, strategic partnerships, and a clear vision for the future, the Philippine Navy is laying the groundwork for a force capable of meeting the challenges of the decades ahead.